Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of my F1 22 My Team career mode. I know it's been a little while since I've done another video. I've been working on some videos on my other channel basically, and a project that I'm working on there, and it's kind of kept me away from there. And I've been playing the game a fair bit, trying to get some of the content ready to be edited. If you haven't been here before, then just know that this is a channel about me trying to get good at these games after not playing them for about 10 years in any kind of seriousness, and just trying to prove the point that if you do something and you work at it, you can get good at it over time. So we had some updates come through, some development updates come through, if you saw before, and then we had some fail, as you just saw there. So this is something that I'm a bit concerned with about my team and the way it's going at the moment. A lot of the things are failing, and I really want to update the quality control area part of my like departments, like all the different departments. I want to get that quality control stuff going. I noticed it's something when I've been doing my sim career, that it's a really important thing to do. If you want to stop these things failing all the time, hit those quality control boosts, and you start to get some more developments through. It's a slow process. This is the little Pirelli hot lap thing I did. I am still doing these, and they're not that hard. I do make the odd mistake like that, but it's just good to get your acclaim up, because more acclaim means more sponsors and, you know, all that sort of stuff, more points. Just anything I can do right now to boost the team, I will, because we kind of suck. And especially coming into this race, this is a track that I know very, very, very well. So I really want to put in a good performance, and hopefully we can do that today. As you can see, I got silver in that, so I only do them once. I don't go back and like restart the session, everything. It's like with the practice sessions, I just do them once, and then I just play it as it lies. So as you can see, like as I'm about to do here, quality control, I'm just sick of those things failing all the time. And it keeps shifting us further and further down on the development chart compared to all the other teams. So with this being Spain, I just went in like I always do, and I'll show you guys. I just go into time trial and do a bunch of laps. I've been trying lately. I think I was doing it in this one, but lately I've been trying to set one of the other YouTubers as my ghost and chase him and see where he's gaining the time, and I find that's really actually helped me a lot. And also just playing with setups and everything, but I end up doing a lot of laps around these time trials to try and get my times up there. You know, when I first started doing these, and you know, I'm a few races ahead now, so this is like 27,000th and 500th, and I'm about what 3 to 4 seconds off the pace there from the top time. But I notice I am getting better, because I'm placing a lot higher than that now. As you see before there, we had the team rivalry with Daniel Ricciardo, and we've now slipped down to, what's that, 9th? Yeah, 9th in the standing. So AlphaTauri's jumped us, McLaren's jumped us. I think Haas were behind us at one point. This is the practice programs for my development points. I just showing you that I passed them all. Like, same situation with those Pirelli hot laps and everything. I just do them once or twice, maybe twice, if I feel like I need to get to grips with the car on the track a little bit more, so I might run it again and again. You know, something like a qualifying lap I might do again. But interesting that I didn't pass that there, and I was you know, so far up the charts, still like 3rd fastest, and I wasn't sitting that high up. I did do this one again, as I'm showing the qualifying, and I did pass it. And I was about 7/10 off the Ferrari, so not too bad considering our car is that low. I changed all the components back to the freshest ones that I can find. I always do that before I get into, once I finish doing all the practice sessions, I will go in and change all the components to the freshest ones I can find. And maybe in like practice 3, if I feel like I just want to do another run, or if I see that there's some rain in the session, I want to get some practice in. If there's a potential for rain, then I might do that as well. This is qualifying. No, it's not. It's practice 3. So once again, just going through and getting a little bit more track time. Just seeing how far up the list I can go. And if the car's actually competitive, it's so deceiving in the practice sessions as well. Because you might think, wow, we're on the pace. You know, I'm like this, where I'm using the medium tire and I'm 5th overall. But, you know, it all shakes out once you get to qualifying. Like that 3rd on the softs. Half a second off Sainz, and you know, when you see that, you think that's pretty good, but you don't know if Sainz is using worn softs or if he's
Okay, there's been some damage to the floor. We recommend you come
if he's
in so we can
I didn't flashback that one, by the way. And just on that, like, you know, you guys, if you've seen my videos before, I will show you all the flashbacks at the end of the video from the race and everything, because like I said, this is just me trying to get good. So this whole first season is a sighter season. I'm just trying to see where I'm at on every track, get used to the cars, get used to everything, try to minimize my mistakes. And then next season, I'm going to start putting some restrictions in place around flashbacks, around how I approach each weekend and what I'm allowed to get away with and what I'm not allowed to get away with. So, you know, maybe if I do fully bin the car, yeah, maybe next season I might say that's not allowed. And if I do bin the car, then I got to wear it and I can't flashback that. Or, you know, maybe if it's like a front wing that I kind of got like a little bit of a damage after a certain amount of laps, that I can't flashback that or whatever. This is in slow motion because at this point in time when I did this race, the patch hadn't come out to fix the flickering that was going on with like the podium celebration cutscene and some of the other cutscenes. There was this really bad flicker going on in the background, so it was just really hard to watch any of that stuff, so I didn't want to put that in there. It just looks gross. This is qualifying, and I felt good at this track. You know, I felt like we were still semi-competitive. You know, we're not the worst team, and like I'm just showing here, like going into that first sector, purple, second sector, purple, and then third sector here, this is the first run, purple again. And like a lot of these guys have already done runs, Leclerc, Bottas, Norris, a lot of cars that are technically better than ours, and we were only what, 6/1000ths off of Max Verstappen's first time. But once again, just like practice, that stuff's all deceiving. You know, their banker runs, and then once the track gets faster, it's not always a good gauge. You are where you are when you finish the session, basically. But I got another purple, and then I muffed up coming out of that fast. Is that turn 8? I think it is. And just aborted the lap, which was it. And just showing you guys as well, like I am running it on 65. That's challenging enough as it is for me right now. Everything else is just like at its max, kind of like simulation damage, No assists. The only thing I have on is the assist for the pits and the starting of the race until I can get race starts down a little bit. But I end up in 9th, so that's the best qualifying position I've had since I started the game. So I was pretty happy with that, top 10. And Spain is one of those tracks where you sort of do the first few races of the season. You know, Miami, you know, I had that Saudi Arabia race, and then we've got Monaco next. It's a breather track where I just kind of feel like, I can take a rest and do a track that I know very well. So I kind of get happy when I get to this point. But anyway, let's get into the race.
Welcome then to what promises to be another fascinating Spanish Grand Prix, a race which saw Max Verstappen take victory on his first ever appearance with the Red Bull team in 2016 after the dramatic coming together of Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. Will we see more moments for the scrapbook here today? It's a sellout crowd of 140,000 here today as we await lights out for the 730-meter sprint into Turn 1. This is a 2.9-mile racetrack. Overtaking is challenging through these 16 corners, but there's still a lot of high-speed excitement to be found, including the flat-out Turn 3 and the terrifying blind right of Turn 9. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And starting next to them is George Russell. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Verstappen, Sergio Perez, and Hamilton, Bottas, Norris, the owner driver, and Kevin Magnussen, Mick Schumacher, Ricciardo, Esteban Ocon, and Gasly, Vettel, Joe, Yuki Tsunoda, and Alex Albon, Latifi, Fernando Alonso, Alessio De Leda, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? Natalie Pinkham joins me once again in the commentary box. It's fantastic to have you with us today. I'm curious though, how do you think the drivers stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into Turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It'll keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
Noticing that my engineer doesn't really like to talk to me that much in these little pre-race, you know, sitting in the cockpit moments, but whatever. Just going with the standard strategy, the recommended strategy. I'm not going to change too much, and I'm just going to try and stick with everyone and see what I can do.
The formation lap gets underway, and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure their car is ready for the battle once the lights go. So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. But the question I'm asking is which teams have got it right, and which teams have got it horribly wrong?
So here we go for the Spanish GP, and starting from 9th, hopefully we can get a good start away. We lose a few positions off the start, maybe a little bit more than a few. Something I need to work on. I get a lot of slip there. We go up against Gasly here, and we're trying to get them back. They're about the same pace as us. As we do make the move past him. No, he gets us. And man, some of these early stabs that they have are, I don't know, they seem a bit aggressive compared to like the last time I played an F1 game, and I think he took a little bit of a bite out of his wing there. trying to make that move. Just skipping ahead to the end of the lap. And we're in 12th. So we lost 9th position, and then Vettel makes the move on us in a straight line. Just haven't got the pace. You know, everywhere I go at the moment, it seems, as we saw in Miami in the last race, I can kind of keep with them through the corners and maybe even be a bit faster than the AI in the corners. But as soon as we hit a straight, I'm just a sitting duck most of the time. If I have a reasonably average lap, they're right on me and I got no way to defend. So there was nothing really going on too much in these first few laps. I was just following, sticking with the pack, and just basically maintaining pace. As you can see, like, Vettel's not breaking away from me at any kind of rate. But you know, the Alpine is a lot faster, and it was a matter of time basically before Ocon was going to make that move and get past me. But even still, you know, 14th is not last, and that is something I've been getting used to. You know, running kind of, it's higher than I've normally been running, but I was able to fight him back. You got a chance to get that position back. Basically, if you don't do it in the first lap or so, you're not going to get it. They're going to get away, and then it's catch you later. Like, Vettel now is outside a second, and you know, that's kind of done. He's in that DRS train, and now I got Ocon and Alonso trying to make a move on me, and Alonso makes contact with his teammate there. So they're really dodgy, the AI, with their front wings in this game, and they will pit for anything. And I can see that, like, he's already so slow through a lot of the corners after breezing past me, and then he made that contact, and I'm just like around the outside. I'm all over him. He's definitely lost the pace because Ocon's starting to move away, and he's actually costing us time with what's evidently probably wing damage. So the wings are very ineffective if you do any kind of damage to them in this game, and you know, with this new model of car. And like, it was hard to keep him behind, and then all of a sudden he gets that little bit of damage, makes that contact with Ocon, and it's like I was trying to get past a Williams almost. As you can see, he's disappeared, so Alonso is into the pits, as you can see there, just above on your screen. Gonna go in and change his wing. I don't know if it's legit or if it's just a little bit silly that the AI do that for everything, because you can get away with a little bit of wing damage, and it didn't seem like he hit him that hard. I don't know if he lost the end plate. It wasn't easy to tell. This is Russell, and he's in a fight with Verstappen, Perez, and Hamilton. The Ferraris have pretty much checked out. They're just so much faster than everyone at the moment. You can see throughout, you know, the season so far, even that race in Miami, Leclerc, you know, even though he binned it into the wall, he was just so much further ahead and just had so much more pace. And Sainz in that race had the damage, and he was coming through the field like everyone else was standing still. So they're just clearly the superior car. Leclerc comes into pit while the rest continue on. They started on softs, I think, and yeah, pretty aggressive strategy. Yeah, there you go. Sainz is on the softs. He's now leading the race. They can just make it work. You know, they most races I could see the Ferraris doing contrary strategies to everyone else, and it just doesn't matter what anyone does. You know, you could try and out strategize them. Just pure pace alone, they're just going to catch you at some point. you know, if they do a somewhat similar strategy to you, as long as they're not pitting like 3-4 times, they can pretty much put on whatever tyre they want, and they're going to be the fastest car on track, unlike in real life, as we've seen. So I'm just coming up to Sainz as he comes out, and this is the story of my career mode. Sainz leading races, and then or being, you know, first and second, pitting, and then coming out in the pack and making contact with someone else and just destroying his race with wing damage. That was wing damage he gained there. That's why I'm able to just, like, he's on new tires, even though they are hard tires. He's in a Ferrari. I shouldn't be even able to make any kind of impact on him, but he came out next to Alonso, and Alonso's already, you know, a couple of seconds ahead of him. So Sainz is back in the pits. Where would he be in the championship if he didn't muff so many bloody races? I think I've always, no matter what race we've been in, Sainz has been fighting back through the field after having to change his wing. Or something, a spin. I think it was an Imola. He went off, he was pole, and then he went into the sand trap, and then he was fighting his way back through the field. I think Australia, he might have lost his wing. Even I think Baku, wasn't he? Like, he lost his wing or something as well. It was just ridiculous. He's always down in the midfield trying to fight his way back through. So that was one of the Mercedes. I think it was Russell and maybe Perez coming into pit. We come in as well. We're just behind Daniel Ricciardo. We're going to go into the hards, as you saw before the race. We're going pretty stock standard, mediums to hards, do what everyone else does, and if we got the pace, we will end up further. We got a slow front right there, which is not ideal, but somehow we end up, no we don't. I thought we came out ahead of Ricciardo. We didn't. He's ahead of us. So we came out again, and here's Alonso, who came in for that wing, and he still made up the gap on us and is behind us again. The Alpine, though, is like still a much better car than ours. So yeah, there's no surprises there. But we did gain on the Aston Martin, so that car was a little bit down the road on us. So we did. Is that Vettel? I think it's Vettel in front of us there. We pulled back a gap by staying out a little bit longer. As you can see just on that little caption in the top there, top middle. It's no, so before it was Hamilton coming, that's Russell. So Russell went in and then came out ahead of Verstappen, I'm gonna say. Perez, I can't tell who it is. So that strategy didn't work, and we're now trying to chase down Vettel again, but we got Alonso chasing us as well. We did gain, we got back into DRS with that pit stop. We got back into DRS with Vettel, but we've got Alonso all over us, and I don't know why I'm really fighting him. I think it's just, I just want every position I can get at this point in time. And here we go, DRS with Vettel, and he is slow compared to before. He hasn't got that assistance of the DRS train that he was in before, and we make the move down the inside and take the position off Vettel. So pretty happy with that. It feels good to be able to battle with cars and make a move and stay with them, instead of just getting past and feeling like you got nothing. Alonso gets a massive bit of overspeed there with the DRS from myself and from Vettel, but kind of backs out of that pass. If he'd really stuck it down the inside there, or maybe he had too much speed, he probably would have got me. But they do like to sort of hesitate in the corners, the AI. It's around all this part of the track where I feel like I have it over them. It's all on the straights. Yeah, it's coming out of that final chicane and then onto the straight. I just can't match it with them. I can't get the traction down, and you know, once we're in a straight line, they just breeze past me. But through here, through any of these high kind of downforce areas, I really do have an advantage. And see, then sticking it up the inside again, and Alonso, it was just enough to make the AI back off. That was close. He could have really rear-ended me there. Lost the wing, maybe damaged my rear diffuser, but all is safe in the hands of Alonso following you. I go a little bit wide. I go a little bit wide here. Get a track limits warning.
And gap to the car in front.
A little bit later in the lap. Once again, just, you know, I'm a little bit all over the place there, but trying to fight the traction. But Alonso also gets a bit out of shape because of me. So he never got the run that he wanted to get down the straight. We're a fair way into the race now. This is lap 22 or 33. So only 11 laps to go. And what we have been doing this whole time is catching Daniel Ricciardo. So I was pretty close to him before the pit stops, and then I had that fault, like that bit of a dodgy wheel change on the right front, and then he got away from me a little bit, but we have caught him back up. And once again, I get wide on that fast turn. It's turn 8, and Alonso, I mean, that seemed like he was off the track there. Nothing doing though. They just said fair game. I guess I do some dodgy things from time to time, way worse than that. So he makes the move on me, and you know, being that it's that part of the track and I'm driving the way that I'm driving, he's already gone. You know, look at that. I'm not all over him or anything. He's got the traction out of the corner. I made a mistake going into that little chicane, so Alonso I'm finished with that battle. Sainz, our old mate Sainz, just coming through the field again after his adventures throughout the race that ruined his race, and he has to try and fight back. He makes light work of me, obviously, on the straight. We're not fighting him. We just let him go every time. I'm hoping that he can get in a battle with Alonso and Ricciardo to bring them back into my race. Ricciardo not so much, because I am faster than him, so he just hasn't got the pace. And it's really matching a lot of this real life stuff. Like Norris in this game seems to be miles in front of Ricciardo at this stage of the career mode. And Ricciardo's always down here fighting with me outside the top 10. But you can see we got like much superior pace through the corners. And he is, remember, my rival at the moment. So to beat him would be a massive boost. He's got a bit of a lead on me. I think it was like 15-9 or something in that rivalry with a few races to go. So we want to get, if we can get this, we probably get fastest lap and the race position on him. So you know, there's like 2 or 3 that we can gain back. That was one of the spots on the track throughout the race where I was struggling. Yeah, if I didn't get it right, if I was pushing too hard, you know, I could step it out. Yuki Tsunoda retires. I think that was with a mechanical issue. So I think he was behind us at that point, so that we weren't going to gain much out of that. But Ricciardo cannot break away from us, so this fight is on between us. He is not leaving us for dead. He is one of the cars that is not fast in a straight line. The McLaren is, I think, pretty nerfed for straight line speed in this game. This is pre-patch, so this is still running on the 1.505 patch. So this I had this race a while ago, so I've got a bit of catching up with it as far as editing goes. But yeah, the McLaren still wasn't very quick, and it's good practice for me to do this. You know, stick with him, stay with him. You know, maybe make the odd mistake and have to recover, but make sure that I don't do anything too damaging to my race, and just wait for my moment, which I do there, and I make the move up the inside. That seems to be the spot on the track where I can make all my moves. I got a lot more pace than them, than the AI usually through that turn, that turn 8 up the hill. They just don't have the grip or the aero, but you know, we are not out of DRS, and Ricciardo comes straight back at us, straight past our little slug in a straight line. And with DRS, he definitely does have more pace, but we're right back on him again. And this battle isn't over, and this feels good. It feels good to be able to fight with someone in the races and not just be running around at the back by ourselves. Once again, turn 8. Here we are, right on the back of him. We change. He locks up going into this corner, and we go to the inside, and he actually does make contact with us. Something with the AI in this game is, I've talked about it before. In Melbourne, they did it a lot. Certain corners, you make an obvious move. You're obviously alongside them, and they just turn in on you and damage their wing or whatever. Or maybe sometimes they do like underbody damage to you. It's like you're not even there, and like you're there, and then you make the move, you get up the inside, and then it's like, okay, I'm just going to take the normal racing line the AI does. And yeah, I don't know. It's just completely unnecessary. Sainz is making his way through again. He's risking losing his wing again. He's had such a horrid season in the races. Like, qualifies well. Sort of does really well up until the pit stops, and then just ruins his race. But here's Leclerc coming through to win the Spanish GP. Pretty easy once again. You know, if he doesn't make a mistake, it's a pretty comfortable victory for him every day of the week. Sainz is able to get up to his old teammate Norris, but I'm not sure if that was in the points or not, like really close to Norris. We'll have a check in a minute and see. Can't remember if he got in the points or not. But we are in 12th, which, although that's not in the points, that is the best result of the season. And a couple of places outside the top 10. You know, we got beaten by the Alpines. They're obviously going to beat us. I was pretty happy with that. 12th position. You know, that's 10 positions off the back. And for the most part, I didn't make too many mistakes, as you'll see, like throughout the flashbacks and everything. It's a pretty good, clean race.
And a massive confidence boost going into the next race. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I really feel the track layout, combined with the track temperatures we saw today, suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Here come our winners now. A thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is...
So this is the cleanest thing I could get on the podium where there was no flicker. So that's all you're going to see at the podium. Leclerc wins the race. George Russell in second. Max Verstappen was the one fighting him in the end. Third. And where did Sainz finish? 8th in the end. And 12th for us. Deletta. Where did he finish? 19th. And ahead of Stroll, ahead of Latifi. So I mean, he was also faster than them as far as lap times go. So, yeah, that's kind of about the pace of a second driver with the competition that's around us. We move up in the standings to 18th. Toledo stays in the same position in 21st. We're all still on 0 points, and the team is in last. You know, until we can really score some points, I don't think we're gonna move off the bottom. So these are my flashbacks. This is in practice. I'll flash back if especially just during these like little programs. There's no, I mean, it's not gonna hurt. It's just time saving, really. You know, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm not playing this enough or doing enough to not make mistakes. It's gonna happen. So I think the flashbacks are justified at this point in time. That is huge. That was in the race. But I mean, lap 21, I think that was kind of the first one. Maybe there was one slightly before that. They're all in the same spot. That was a bin and a half. That was massive. That was it. But that was like, I think it was 4 or 5 times I had to use a flashback compared to some other races where I've had to use flashbacks a great deal. And you're going to see that in some of the races coming up because, yeah, there's a lot of walls in the upcoming races. So you'll see that when it comes. Like, it's, you know, it's a learning process for me. And still as we go, you know, I'm just trying to improve. And like I said, it's a cider season. I'm just trying to get to grips with it, see where I'm at, see any adjustments that I need to make. Is it too hard? Is it too easy? Are there some things that I can change? Some things that I could limit as far as the, you know, flashbacks and the level of difficulty that I've got it set at. But, you know, as I get better, you know, I'm going to raise the bar. So that's just the way you got to do things when you're trying to get good at something, and, you know, increase your ability. You know, as your ability increases, increase the difficulty so that you can grow even further. This is where we're at the moment. Anyway, guys, that's the video for today. If you did like the video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Other than that, though, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.